Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well, staying safe during these uncertain times. For those of you who don't know, Charlene and I lived abroad. We lived in Southampton, England for just under a year and a half, and we taught various grades over there. Since we have a bit of free time, myself and Charlene figured that we would tell you guys some of our most random and weird and stressful stories during our time abroad. So let's jump right in with story number one.
The first strange story I can remember was when we first got there and it was our first trip. So we decided to do an impromptu trip to Amsterdam, and we booked a flight with a major airline in Europe called KLM. So anyways, that night, an hour before, I found out that our flight got canceled. So we called the airline and they rebooked us on a different airline. So anyways, we show up at Southampton airport, get on the airplane, I look out the window and there is literal duct tape keeping the plane together.
One day we took a day trip to the village of Grindelwald, which is in the Jungfrau region of Switzerland, right in the middle of the Alps. So we're there and we take the cable car up to the top of the mountain and we're just enjoying all the sights, just walking around. There's like a huge observation area on top of the mountain.
An avalanche.
We did see an avalanche, that was really cool. And we asked this lady, can you take a picture of us, which we did in all the places we've been. It's a very common thing to do.
We could actually tell that she was speaking English, so that's part of the reason that we asked, just because we could communicate.
She was kind enough to take my phone and take a couple pictures of us, and we just had a little conversation with her, and then we just parted ways. She finds us a few minutes later and says, I'm actually a professional photographer, and I have a new camera here with me, and I'd like to try it out. I'm wondering if you guys would be willing to let me take some pictures of you. Sure enough, we said yes. We ended up having like a full-on mini photo shoot, probably close to an hour. She took all different pictures from a whole bunch of different areas on the mountain. And her pictures are absolutely stunning. Her name is Sandra. I will also link her Instagram account down below in this video. That was probably one of the cooler moments of our time abroad.
Okay, so the next crazy story absolutely blew my mind. I grew up in various communities in Newfoundland and Labrador, so it was hard for me to stay connected with friends when I was younger because we didn't have Facebook or social media. So in 2004, we moved to Bay Roberts, and I went to primary elementary / intermediate school with this guy named Blair. And David and I went out one night for supper, and all of a sudden I hear, "Charlene, is that you?" And then I said, "Blair." So anyways, we got to talking. He was like, "I'm not even sure what city I'm in. I'm just here for work." So I told him it was Southampton and that me and David had just moved there. So it was such a crazy story. And like, that stuff to me doesn't even happen in Newfoundland, let alone on the other side of the world. So that was pretty cool to meet up with an old friend.
Probably the most random story from our time abroad.
For sure.
Last story for this video. This one comes to you from Thailand. We had planned to go to an elephant sanctuary for the day. Side note, this was a very ethical elephant sanctuary where they actually rescued the elephants from various other touristy places.
Yeah, they do vet checks every other day as well.
Absolutely. We had to get up really early that morning. We were up at around 5:30 I think in the morning.
Yeah, it was super early.
So we get to the elephant sanctuary headquarters in the city of Pattaya.
Which was just like a little sketchy house, by the way.
Yes. And
there were dogs everywhere.
Yeah, stray dogs. Yeah.
We thought we
The
would
sun-
get rabies.
I was prepared to be bitten by dogs. Yes. So I've been in contact with the company, and we had an agreement made that we were going to meet at their company headquarters. So we were there probably around 6:30 a.m. waiting for them to get in contact with us. Probably been there for what, 20 minutes, half hour? And this random guy walking his dog passes us, looks over and says, "Oh, tour." And Charlene and I were like, no, like we were saying no, we just didn't know what to say to him because Thailand is notorious for scammers, and we were not prepared to get scammed that day. So we keep telling this guy, no, we're not going with him, no tour. He comes back a few minutes later in a truck and says, "You come with me now, we're gonna go on the tour." And we're both like, no, not gonna happen. So eventually, through our conversation with this guy, we came up with an agreement that he would leave, pick up all the other guests who were supposed to go on the tour with us, and then pick us up after. So he leaves, and Charlie and I both said to each other, like, this dude is never coming back. We won't see him again. Like, we're on to his scam, and he knows it. Half an hour later, the guy shows up outside the company headquarters with a truck full of people. Probably 7 or 8 people. They're people from...
In the pan of the truck?
Yeah, in the pan of the truck. We hop in the vehicle.
We still didn't really know.
We still were a little unsure, but we just said, okay, well, if we're going to get scammed, we're going to get scammed with like 8 other people. So we hop in the pan of the truck. And eventually, turns out this guy actually worked for the company, and it was probably, I would say, the best experience we had while we were abroad.
It was amazing, but getting there and leaving was pretty stressful since we were floating down the highway in the pan of the truck. It was interesting.
We hope you enjoyed this video. We want to hear from you, so please comment below with some of your best travel stories.